Hi everybody, my name is Paula and I'd like to welcome you to my Real Polish Fanatic little corner of YouTube. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending some of your day with me. I do appreciate you being here. The other day I did an impromptu unboxing of the China Glaze new collection that is exclusive to Ulta. It's a 5-piece collection. Those of us who love China Glaze know that for most of last year they took a hiatus. They did not put out any new collections, I don't think, after maybe the spring collection. And nobody really knew what was going to happen with them. And then all of a sudden this year, they're like, big things are coming on April 20th. And so that announcement was leading up to the Welcome Back China Glaze collection. That's not what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. So China Glaze has changed things up a little bit with their hiatus. They changed their bottles just a little bit. They changed their lids that are on the bottles. And most importantly, they changed their brushes. So, and they changed the formula. So they released a 5-piece collection on April 20th that is exclusive to Ulta stores. I couldn't find it in my Ulta store, so I had to order it online. And maybe you watched my down and dirty unboxing video of it the other day. I just showed them off very quickly. Today I'm here to swatch them up for you. But, I love China Glaze. I have a bunch of them. I have hundreds of bottles of China Glaze. But I have to say, this collection is a little bit of a letdown, and you'll see when we turn the cameras around. These are supposed to be 2 sheer polishes and then 3 hollow glossy polishes. We all know China Glaze knows how to do hollow polishes. If any of you are old school China Glaze fans, you know that they released a collection back in like 2006, 2007 called the Kaleidoscope Collection. That was a bit of like a scattered holographic collection. And then in 2008, they had the, oh my God, the OMG collection with polishes like DV8 and OMG. And that was a beautiful linear holographic collection. And that one they actually reissued in 2018 for the 10-year anniversary of the original collection. The original collection was 12 polishes and the re-release, I believe, was 6 polishes. And those, even the re-release back in 2018 of those was really nice. I was doing a written blog then, and I did a comparison between the original OMG collection and the re-released one. It was called the OMG Flashback Collection in 2018. So they know how to do hollow. They know how to even bring it back. But then if we think back to 2011, and they had that collection called Tronica. And then in 2013, they had a collection called Hologlam. And everybody was so excited for those collections because, oh, we're gonna get some more hollow from China Glaze. And both of those collections were a bit of a letdown. Some of the colors were okay, but it wasn't really holographic. Not really. And that's kind of how I'm feeling about these 3 holographic polishes in this collection. They're kind of giving me vibes of Tronica or Hologlam from back in 2011, 2013. But I'm going to show them to you. We're going to swatch them up. It's very late at night. I don't know what time it is. It's probably almost midnight. And so I am hoping that tomorrow I'll have some sun. I haven't had sun in a few days here in California, but I am hoping that tomorrow we'll have some sun. And if we do, I'm going to take my swatch wheel out into the sun and see, because I don't know how well the holographic will show up under, I'm just going to have LED lights and overhead lights and things like that. So I don't know if the holographic properties will show up to the best of their abilities in this lighting. So I am hoping that I'll have sun tomorrow, and if I do, I'll take the swatch wheel out and take a video of it out in the sun, and I will put that in at the very end of this video after my goodbye. But I have got 5 China Glaze polishes to show you, Ulta exclusives, just released April 2025. And so yeah, let's go ahead and we'll turn the camera around and we'll just jump right into some swatching. All right, I'm going to start with what's on my nails because I know a lot of people often wonder as they see my hands moving around in videos what I am wearing. This is kind of a sneak peek. This is actually something that's going to be coming out in May for HHC, Hella Handmade Creations, from Victorian Varnish. So a little sneak peek for you here, a little early sneak peek. This one's called Steampunk Sparkle. And this is it on me in 3 coats with a glitter grabber and a glossy top coat. It's beautiful, has reflective glitter and flakies in it. If you happen to see my right hand, that one, it just has 2 coats and a glitter grabber and a glossy top coat. So little sneak peek from Victorian Varnish, Steampunk Sparkle from HHC, May 2025. That'll be coming out May 14th. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the changes that China Glaze made to their bottles and to their lids, to their brushes, all that good stuff. So the first one I'm going to show you here, if we look at this bottle, let me zoom out just a little bit here. So this is their new bottle and their new lid. It's very nice. I do like that they tell you what type of polish it is. So like this one says sheer, the other ones will say glossy, and they say hollow, so that's nice. The lid is a little bit more ergonomic. It kind of flares up, you know, there's kind of a flare there. And they have a nice embossed, raised logo right there on the bottle. These are still 15 milliliters. The bottle itself is exactly the same, I believe, as what it used to be. I do have an older bottle down here, so we're going to take a look at differences between them. But the most important change that I've noticed is this nice brush. So this is the new brush. It's a nice, wide, rounded paddle brush. And just to show you, I brought down, talking about those old holographic collections, I brought down DV8. I don't know if this was the original or the reissued one. I'm not positive about that. I think it's the original. But just to look at the difference in the brushes. So here's the new brush, and here's what their brush used to look like. I mean, these brushes, these old brushes, they're almost impossible to paint with. I wonder if China Glaze will sell new brushes that we can put in our old bottles, because I need hundreds of them. Yeah, I hardly ever reach for China Glaze anymore because it's just impossible to paint with that little bitty brush. But so that is a huge change, very much needed and very much appreciated, that new brush. And if we look at the actual bottles themselves, they are pretty much exactly the same. The only difference is, you know, this one used to be screen printed on with just, you know, its flat logo, and now they have, if you can see there, it is like 3D, a little bit raised logo, but otherwise they are still, oh, it actually says it's 14 milliliters. The old one says 14 milliliters too. So the bottle itself is exactly the same. The lids obviously are different. This has a silver lid because it's you know, the special holographic. And the new ones are just the tiniest bit taller, just a tiny bit taller. For those of you with Helmers, if you're wondering if they'll fit in a Helmer, they do still fit in the Helmer. I can't check an Alex or anything like that, but if you have an IKEA Helmer, it will fit in there. And they also changed the formula. I don't know exactly what changed about that, but I do know that that was one of the changes that they were going to be making. So the bottles themselves, exactly the same. The brushes are 1,000 times better. The lids are a little bit different. You know, before they used to have kind of this fatter at the bottom, went up a little bit skinnier here, and now it's still fatter at the bottom, but then it tapers up and then flares out a little bit more up there at the top. And then the top of the lids are still pretty much the same with the raised little logo. So that's the difference, the main differences in the bottles. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm not sure exactly, like I said in the beginning, what China Glaze was thinking with this collection. So these are the first 2 polishes I'm going to show you. They are not that color that you can see on your screen. They are nude leaning, but they do have a bit of pink in them. this one is just a tone darker, and you can almost see that there, even though it's totally the wrong color. These are looking very like tan or nude or beige. No, they both in the bottles anyway, they both do have a little bit of pink tinge to them. So just think like the babyest baby pink is kind of what they look like in the bottles. And I did put these on my nails, well, on one nail each, these first two that we're going to look at. First up, we're going to look at Light as Lace. And this is a sheer. And like I said, just the babyest baby pink. And I did put that on my fingernail here. I just wanted to check out the formula and stuff. And that's maybe looking a little bit closer, but it's still just a little bit more pink than that. So this is 3 coats with a glossy top coat of Light as Lace. The formula was pretty good. The first coat did go on a bit streaky. The second and third coats, I kind of floated, if you know what that means. You pretty much hold your brush parallel to your nail, and you hardly touch it to the nail at all. You kind of let the polish you sort of glide the polish over it rather than actually, hitting the brush to your nail. So I did that with the second and third coats, and it does look very nice and smooth. And like I said, this is 3 coats with a glossy top coat. And so the formula was good. The brush helps a ton. You would never get this look with those old skinny brushes, I don't believe. But here is Light as Lace, the babyest baby pink that there is. And here it is on the swatch wheel. I'm gonna leave that off. So this is showing a little bit more of the pink, I feel. But anyway, here it is. This is it in 1 coat. This is it in 2 coats, and this is 3 coats with a matte top coat. I like showing polishes with the matte top coat, and that's just so nice and velvety. That's really kind of nice. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna paint on a 3rd coat on the swatch wheel. I will put that right here. The formula, like I said, is pretty good for a sheer. I cannot complain about that. So here is Light as Lace in 1 coat, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. And it's still just the tiniest bit more pink than what it's showing there. And there it is, Light as Lace. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. And then the next one in this Ulta exclusive collection is, like I said, looks pretty much identical, just 1 little shade darker than the first one. This one is called Sheer Tool. And it also is a sheer, tells you right up there. That is so handy that that the lids will say what it is. And again, this is not that tan beigey color you're seeing. This is another just babyest baby pink. And I don't know why my camera will not show that pink color. It's just like, nope, not today. So I put that one here on this thumb. Again, this is 3 coats with a glossy top coat. And this formula was a little bit better. I don't know if this is a little bit more acrylic-like. I'm not sure, but I did not have the streaks in this one in the first coat that I had in the other one. And again, the second and third coats went on very nicely also. So this on my thumb is 3 coats with a glossy top coat. Cannot complain at all about the formulas. Like I said, the brush really does help with that. Here's that one on the swatch wheel. Here we have it in 1 coat, 2 coats, and 3 coats, again, matte. And, yeah, it's still just, I don't know why it does not want to show those as pink. Babyest baby pink, just keep that in mind. We'll go in and put on a 3rd coat. These brushes are really, really nice though. I do need like hundreds of them for my old bottles. So there it is. But I don't understand why they gave us 2 polishes that are so similar. Like, why didn't they give us the baby pink and then a baby blue or a green or just something different? That's what I don't understand about this collection. But anyway, this is sheer tulle, 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. Again, a bit more pink than that. But yeah, I don't know why they gave us 2 that are so close in color. Give us a blue, give us a green, give us, you know, something different. So that was my first question about this collection. I don't understand why they did that. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to 3 polishes that say they are hollow. First up is this pretty gray one. This one is called Glow Commando. And this just looks like a medium gray with some like maybe silver shimmer. That's what it looks like. Like the other day in these lights and tonight, I really see no hollow in this one at all. If it's there, it is so faint and so just I don't know how noticeable it will be. But I am anxious to see this out in the sun if we get sun tomorrow, so I can see if I can get proved wrong. I hope I'm proved wrong and these are all beautifully holographic tomorrow out there in the sun. All right, I'm gonna put that over the black because that is much more color accurate. So here's this one in 1 coat, 2 coats. This one's also 2 coats, and this one is 3 coats with a matte top coat. And again, I kind of love that with the matte top coat actually. Like this is a nice polish. I like the color of gray, and you know, I don't know if it's gonna be hollow, and if it's not, then it's disappointing because you know you had your heart set on seeing one thing and then you get something different. But I mean, I really am gonna like this polish, whether it's hollow or not. It's very soft gray. It's very hard to see on here, but you know, it's a nice polish. Brush is nice, formula is great, but yeah, I'm just not sure about the hollow aspect of it. But this one is Glow Commando. There it is in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats, and then 3 coats matte. This one is tough to see because the color almost matches the color of my swatch wheel. It's just a couple shades darker, but there it is. Yeah, it's a nice polish. I'm just not sure if it is hollow. These next 2 have a little bit more hollow, maybe, like very little bit more. But up next we have this pretty, this is kind of like a mauvey, rosy. It's just a little bit darker than that. Let me see if I do kind of half and half here. That's looking pretty color accurate. I think it may be coming up just a little bit lighter still on your screen than it is in person. So this is just kind of a purpley, mauvey, rosy kind of a color. I know that those are all 3 kind of different colors, but those are the things that kind of it reminds me of a little bit looking at it. And here we have it. Let's see. I think that actually looks pretty color accurate right there. So here we have it in 1 coat. This one's 2 coats. This one's also 2 coats. And this one is 3 coats with a matte top coat. And again, I'm kind of liking these with the matte top coat. So I know that these lights are not going to really show the hollow very much, but I am seeing a very, very little bit through there. Very, very little. We'll put on a 3rd coat. Again, the formulas are really, really nice. Loving, loving, loving these new brushes. They get a 10 out of 10. And yeah, that seems pretty color accurate right there. So here we have it in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats, and then 3 coats matte. That does deepen up the color. Each coat gives it a little bit more depth of color. So that is very nice. Here we have, I don't even think I told you the name earlier. All right, so there we have Shimmer and Barrett in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. And it may be just a little more purple than it's coming out there. This does have a bit of a purple that looks pretty close, but just a touch of purple more than that maybe. That's pretty close. All right, now the last polish that we have from this 5-piece Ulta collection is this one right here, another hollow glossy. And this one I think is probably the most hollow of them, just by looking, you know, at the bottles. And this is coming out quite brown looking on my camera, and it has just a touch of like rose. It's just like the tiniest little bit of rose, but it is quite neutral still. This one is called Glisten Up Babe. And yeah, just like a neutral, but with just a touch of rose maybe to it. And that one on the swatch wheel is right here. We have it in 1 coat, 2 coats. This is also 2 coats, and this is 3 coats with the matte top coat. So that's looking pretty close. Maybe, like I said, just a touch of sort of like a pink or something in there. Let's go in and put on our 3rd coat. Yeah, that brush just makes all the difference. That is definitely a 10 out of 10 brush. All right, so here it is now. 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats, and then 3 coats matte. And I don't know if you're seeing, I can see a little bit of like holographic. And actually it does look sort of linear. A little bit of a linear holographic for this one. I thought they were going to be a little more scattered, but maybe they're not. So this one here is Glisten Up Babe in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats, and then 3 coats matte. A little bit more, just a touch of rose to that color right there. Not quite that brown. I wish I could get these to come out. Sometimes my camera just will not cooperate with me as far as colors go. All right, we'll take one more look at these on the swatch wheel. We started out with Light as Lace, and we're gonna go 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte on this one. And again, just a little more pink than that. Oh, I wish I could get that to come out. But there it is on me in 3 coats with a glossy top coat and a ding. I somehow dinged it here. But yeah, just it is just the babyest baby pink. This one, yeah, I don't know why I can't get it to come out. But then we went to Sheer Tulle. And there's that one. Just very nice, smooth formulas. And that one is this one here on me, again in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. And then we went to the gray hollow called Glow Commando. Here we have it 1, 2, 3 coats, and then 3 coats with a matte top coat. So yeah, there may be a little bit of hollow in there. I'm really hoping for the sun tomorrow so I can show that off to you. And then we moved on to Shimmer and Barrett, and just a touch more purple. It's very close to that color, but just a touch more purple, I feel. That's looking a little mauve, and I feel like now that I'm looking at it more, it is a bit more purple than like a mauvey purple. But anyway, 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. And like I said, this one seemed to have a little bit more hollow than that gray. And then the last one in this Ulta exclusive collection from China Glaze, Glisten Up Babe. And again, just a touch of rose to that color. Hopefully these will look better in the sun tomorrow. You'll get a more accurate color. But 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. And like I said, I think this is the most hollow of them because we can even sort of see it here under these lights. And I'm kind of liking these with the, even with the matte top coat. The matte top coat is going to kill any hollow that it might have. But they're so nice and soft and velvety looking, so I like that. So here were the first 2 once again. And yeah, you can see how close they are. The one on the right is just like half a shade deeper than the one on the left. So yeah, I don't get why China Glaze gave us two almost identical polishes in the same collection. But anyway, this one on the left is light as lace, and the one on the right is the sheer tulle. So yeah, both of them 3 coats with a glossy top coat. Not sure why they did that. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice collection. I don't get the two, you know, almost exactly the same polishes. I do like this gray. Even if it's not hollow, it's still a very pretty color. And this kind of purpley one. They're nice colors. They're just, you know, when you're expecting one thing, I guess, you're expecting a hollow, and you get a sort of hollow. It's just a little disappointing. But, I mean, the colors themselves, can't complain about them. They seem very nice. Formulas are great. That brush is awesome. And so, yeah, that is the 5-piece China Glaze new and improved bottles, brushes, and formula, they say, Ulta exclusive collection from April 2025. All right, let's go and turn the camera around. We're going to finish this up. All right. That was the 5-piece Ulta exclusive China Glaze collection. I know a lot of people were waiting for it to see swatches and stuff, so here it is. I'm sorry that my colors aren't cooperating with me that well, but like I said, I'm going to take this outside tomorrow, hoping for sun, and hopefully the colors will come out a little bit more accurate out there tomorrow. But I would love to hear from you in the comments, whatever is on your mind. What did you think of any of these colors? What do you think of China Glaze in general? Just whatever you'd like to talk about. I would love to chat with you down in the comments. Even if you just want to say hi, I would love that. But that's really all I have to show you with this one. I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending some of your day with me. I really do appreciate you being here. And otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm just gonna say goodbye for now.